We are driving to the city center of Rijeka, where we will leave our car. Milen has chosen a parking garage.
It's called Zagrad. It's closer to the center, so we decided to park there. There are several paid parkings in Rijeka, but this one I think is the closest to the center.
It's underground?
Yes, it's underground. A bit smaller one, but it does the job.
No, it's not very busy. It's not the season yet, so I think there will be.
Yes, but it's Saturday today, so
Yeah, no, but
it will be.
usually people try to avoid to pay for parking, It's not very cheap, but
There are not many options to park, especially in the center, so it's better to use paid parking instead of searching for a parking place.
we have learned our lesson to always park on paid parkings, because once or twice, especially in Spain, our car has been towed, and when they usually see foreigner plated car, they try to get money, so better park on a place that it's paid.
It's a bit expensive here, especially in the paid parkings, but it's really better.
Everywhere is expensive. Paid parkings are always expensive, but you are avoiding the risk to be left without a car
Yeah.
and not be able to return back home.
Yes, I can't remember where exactly was the entrance of this parking, but maybe somewhere here. Oh, see now. I just remember it was a bit hidden.
Maybe that sign? Or
Not this one. This
Not
one
this
is
one.
a small one, and I think it's closed. Should be on the left side. Yeah, I saw it. It's there.
Rijeka is actually the third largest city in Croatia, so it's a busy town. Population is over 100,000 people, so Saturday, I suppose, it's then for shopping.
This is the parking.
Yeah. Garaža Zagrad.
Yeah.
Garaža means parking. It says it's open 24 hours.
Up or down?
Don't mind.
It's a small one. It won't be complicated to park. Maybe during the summer it will be different, but now.
So we got our ticket. The price per hour is €80 during daytime. During night it's cheaper.
From 7 to 6, I think, p.m. It's 180. Maybe after that it's a bit cheaper. The spaces are very small, and if you are with a van, I don't think you can get in.
I don't think you are supposed to enter with the van here.
No, the maximum is 2 meters, 10 centimeters.
But for our small SUV, it's okay.
It's okay.
I think they have facilities. I mean, that's it. Women always look for these things. We are on the main street of Rijeka called Corzo. This is the pedestrian zone, and this yellow building here you see is the city tower. And this gate was the entrance to the fortified ancient town of Rijeka. It was really small fish town, which at that time was called Tărsacița. Actually, the name Rijeka means river. The Slovenian name of the town is Reka, which is also river, and the ancient name is Fiume, which is the Italian name for river. But mainly Rijeka grew as a seaport during the Habsburg rule between 12th and 14th century.
It's very interesting how many beautiful buildings they have here in Rijeka, and at the same time they have buildings like that one.
This is an example of socialist architecture.
Yeah,
But-
you can call this architecture.
Interesting fact is that most of the buildings that you see now on this street are rebuilt because the city suffered a massive earthquake in 1750 on 28th of November. It was completely destroyed So it had to be rebuilt. Most of the buildings were gone. The buildings you see now, most of them are from 18th centuries. And after this earthquake, Austrian Empress Maria Theresa approved the funding for rebuilding the city, and it was then transformed into a larger maritime city. The building you see is the Church of Our Lady of Lourdes and the Capuchin Monastery. It's neo-Gothic basilica, which was built 15 years during the period of 94 and 1929. It's very close to the bus station here in Rijeka. Currently, they are still repairing that part. Last time when we were here, it was under heavy reconstruction. Now they almost finished that part. You should be careful with the seagulls here. They always try to steal your food. And they are not afraid of people at all. So, except the damage of the earthquake in 18th century, the city also suffered extensive damage in World War II, and most of the infrastructure was destroyed. Also, when the Germans left, they completely destroyed the port. So when the war finished, Rijeka became part of Yugoslavia and started to regrow again economically and demographically. But in 1991, Croatia became independent of Yugoslavia, and since then Rijeka is part of nowadays Croatia. Yugoslavia left huge mark on the architecture. You can see these both buildings here. You can easily tell which one is part of Yugoslavian history. We are going to see St. Vitus Cathedral, where is also the entrance to the underground tunnels that were used by Italian army to hide civilians.
Yes, the Italian army built them 1939 to 1942. They are 350 meters.
Nothing impressive.
No.
We've been in that tunnel. We won't show you inside. It's very dark. In one part of the tunnel, water is leaking from the top.
Yeah, I didn't see anything interesting. There is even entrance fee. When we visited it, it was free, but usually there is entrance fee. Don't know how much, probably 5 euros. Like that.
It doesn't
worth. No.
worth to pay anything to see. Nothing special.
You can easily miss that part of Rijeka.
The buildings are really old and damaged. And it's some kind of funny mishmash of new signs, old buildings. When the city was rebuilt after the earthquake in 18th centuries, it was annexed to the Kingdom of Hungary. And in 18th century, they started building this building you see. It's the Governor's Palace. It was then home to the Hungarian governor of the city. Nowadays, this building is Maritime Museum. It needs refreshing a bit, but it's French architecture with these beautiful balustrades.
Fresh but built from Hungarians.
Yeah, but they used the most famous architects at that time. So it looks really pretty, but it needs a fresh coat of paint.
Definitely, yes. Sorry about the noise. It's very noisy here on the street.
You should be really careful when you walk in cities like Rijeka, very busy, and see that guy took the wrong turn and now he tries to...
He's blocking all the other cars.
Yeah.
The forecast for today was a nice sunny day. Unfortunately, it's raining, but
It started raining, just I suppose we won't melt, but I hope it does not rain very
when
heavy.
you're near the sea, you can always expect something like that.
From here we have a very interesting view of Trsat Castle, which is 138 meters above the sea level, and it was reconstructed in 19th century. If we have time, we will show this place also. This Baroque church you see is St. Vitus Cathedral. In the Middle Age, the Church of St. Vitus was a very small Romanesque church dedicated to the patron of Rijeka, St. Vitus. But in 1638, they started a new construction, and this is the new church they built to honor the patron of Rijeka, St. Vitus. When the currency of Croatia was kuna, before they accepted euro, actually this cathedral was depicted on the 100 kuna bill.
This is the official entrance of the tunnel. Let's check how much is the entrance fee. Probably still free because it's not the active season right now. But basically, as I see, for adults, the entrance from October to March is 150 euro. From April to September, 2 euro per person.
Kids
For
are
kids-
charged less.
Yeah, for kids it's 50 cents from October to March and 1 euro from April to September.
And there is also family ticket, 2 adults, 2 children for, I think, 5 euros.
350 or 5, yeah, depends on the season. It's up to you. If you're into these things, you can get in. So this is the entrance of the tunnel. There is
А може с
administrator.
картица да се плача тук или само ковинце?
Картица.
Само с картица. So you have to
Okay.
pay the entrance fee by card.
Yeah, the only possibility
The
to pay
only
with a
possibility,
card.
machine.
Yeah. Hvala.
Hvala.
So back streets around the center. There are a lot of hidden cafes. Most of them, unfortunately, still are not working. Maybe because the season
It's
still
May.
started.
But the city starts waking up after the winter. Last time when we were here, it was February, everything was closed. Now they start opening. We are going to a place called Rika. It's a gluten-free cafe. And it became our favorite spot.
Actually, probably the only gluten-free spot, so I don't know.
It's
its favorite,
completely free, gluten-free facility.
but I didn't manage to find other places that are completely gluten-free, but this one, it's very small, maybe not so popular, but actually there are a lot of things you can eat, sweet
Even
things,
pizza.
pizzas and other things.
No, we are not eating pizza for our anniversary, please. We are just having coffee.
Probably sushi, but we'll see if they have free tables. Though we don't have reservations, so let's see.
This is a square called Ivana Koblera with this interesting fountain. And that sign you see, Corso, is actually the same like the main pedestrian street, which we are going right now.
Yes, but this is some shopping mall, I think, something like
It
that.
is a shopping mall. From here you can also see the city tower. And this gate is the ancient entrance to the fortified town. Another very beautiful Baroque building. Interesting fact that here till 19th century the biggest population were Italians, not Croatians, and they also speak here a very interesting dialect, which is Venetian language of Fiuman. About 20,000 people speak this ancient dialect. So here you can see and hear very interesting nations, Croatians, Italians, Serbs, Bosnians. It's a
Bulgarians as well.
multilingual and multinational city. And in 2018, they started putting signs in Italian language. Before that, they removed after the war when Italy was allies of Germany. They removed everything Italian, but recent days they started again putting signs in Italian language. This is the yacht port of Rijeka. And if that yacht is not a floating home, it's bigger than some houses. I can't even guess how much it costs. The sky is not very promising. I think the storm is coming. In 18th century, when Hungarians ruled here, they further developed this port because they didn't have any access to the sea. They used Rijeka as their port. So it was very well developed at that time. This is the central market of Rijeka. Usually outside vendors sell until about 2 p.m. They started collecting their stuff. They mainly sell local produce here. And this green building behind is the covered central market.
It's 1:30 now, and as you see, everything is closed, almost everything. Just few stands are working. But probably the best time to come here for shopping is the mornings. Oh, actually, still few stands.
Tržnica, or the central market, the building is closed. There are two pavilions actually. And firstly, created as a fish market. After that, they decided they'll make a separate pavilion for the other vendors. I don't know why now it's closed.
It should be working until 2 p.m., but unfortunately.
Maybe they are reconstructing something. There was a sign that says they have moved somewhere. I don't know.
Maybe because it's Saturday and they close earlier.
But anyway, it's a very popular place for locals to shop. The architect of both pavilions is Carlo Pergioli, and they are very interesting sculpture of some Venetian sculptor.
Last time we visited the central market, it was for people actually important. That was quite nice market, a bit more expensive than in Slovenia, but
Did you know that they actually decided to build these pavilions because they were selling the fish on the street and it was smelling bad?
well, logical
And
to close
the
it.
local authority decided it's not very hygienic, so they have to build something and to put the vendors inside, not under the sun.
Clever decision.
That's why they built these two pavilions.
And this beautiful building.
This beautiful building is the
It says Hrvatsko народно kazalište Ivana Zajca. Right? See, my Croatian gets better and better.
So this is actually the Croatian National Theatre of Rijeka.
Nice building. Probably very old.
Before that building, 8 years ago, there was another theater that was serving as a theater, but in 1885, they built this new theater, decided to make it bigger, and this was done by Austro-Hungarian architect Ferdinand Felliner. He is the architect of this beautiful building. At that time, in 19th century, usually there were several famous architects, and this one created that Baroque style again. The reason they decided to build a new theater was against safety precautions. At that time, many theaters got fire, and the local authority again decided that it's not safe to operate in the old theater and they need a new building. And that was during the time of when the mayor of Rijeka was Giovanni Chiotto, Italian governor. Interesting fact that there are some paintings of the Klimt brothers inside. I have not been inside, but I adore Klimt's work. The main painter of the frescoes inside was France much, but Klimt brothers cooperated, so it's cooperative work here. These beautiful figures, the author is Venetian sculptor again. At that time, Augusto Benvenuti created these beauties, and the name of this theater was changed many times. At one time, it was even called Verdi Theater, but now it has the name Ivan Zajc. It's a famous Croatian composer. So currently, that's the name. Ivan Zajc.
It's very nice place here, and with quite nice garden, very well maintained. We can take some rest here, and it's very close to the central market. Basically, this building behind are the central market buildings.
Actually, that's one of the three biggest theaters in Croatia, as big as those in Zagreb. I think I'm gonna have kremšnita today. Here all the cakes are gluten-free. They usually have spoiling choice, but today is Saturday and it's 2 p.m. so most of the stuff is gone. You can just see the labels of what's left.
I will try any one of these.
Last time when we were here, there were probably 50 different varieties.
Oh yeah, it was very bad after
I
that.
always wanted to try this Zagrebaška kremšnita.
Okay, order two until they still wait for us.
This is the gluten-free version.
Yeah.
As I said, it's completely gluten-free facility, and they also sell some bread and some gluten-free dough. Here you can see. You can buy it and make something at home.
Yes.
You can also have house-made pizza here if you are hungry, but we just came for the sweet stuff.
So next time, or maybe we can take with us eat at home. Okay, let's
We
try
just
some.
forgot our
Let's try some cakes. With
which
some
one?
coffee.
Kremšnita twice.
Cost kremšnita.
Something else? Baklava, the Turkish version.
Maybe after that.
Maybe after that, okay. I always wanted to try this thing, but they sell not gluten-free version, so it's my first bite of Zagrebaška kremšnita.
Share with me to order another one.
Most of this is some kind of cream, just the base is some dough. It's very light,
With a lot of
not
calories.
very sweet. I'm not thinking about calories today. It's not very sweet, which is really nice. Probably the baklava will be sweeter, but we'll try it later. For now, I will focus on this. So we just had our coffee in this gluten-free facility, Rika. We really like their pastries, they are very good. Unfortunately, Saturday, they only work until 3 p.m. So most of the cakes were gone, but still we enjoyed our kremšnita. And we tried baklava and
Yes.
chocolate cake.
And chocolate cake, which was excellent as well.
Our bill was about 25 euros, which is nothing for gluten-free pastry. I mean, comparing to Ljubljana, where we have gluten-free cakes, it's about 30% cheaper, I think. In Cacao, we usually have gluten-free cakes. They're about 6-7 euros per piece. Here they are 3 to 5 euros. From here you can see the beautiful Rijeka hills and much nicer view to the castle.
This one.
This one on top, as I said before, it's 138 meters above the sea level, which we are now. I think there is a cafe in this castle.
There is cafe and also parking space somewhere near the castle. I did not manage to find it because we didn't have time. But I think they call it parking dvorana, where you can park and walk like 6-7 minutes to the castle. Maybe next time we'll try it.
Gardens of the castle are free of charge to have a walk around, but for the castle itself there is an entrance fee if you are into these things. But these hills have the vibe of Opotia, also very beautiful buildings, excluding that part.
Not
The-
all of them. Yes.
The big blocks are obviously done during Yugoslavia time and not very nice looking. I think places on the Adriatic coast like this city have to stick to the much compact buildings to preserve that charm they have.
Yes, but these old buildings, it's very hard to maintain them and just see.
That one,
How can you maintain that building?
these two windows are almost gone. Can you imagine repairing? These are about 25 windows.
Hmm.
In our
Otherwise-
house, we replaced 13 and it was about 10,000 euros.
True.
So here it might cost a fortune.
So we are fortunate.
But see, the government has to help people that own buildings like this one, because it's Croatian history. No, so we are waiting on this traffic light and it does not get any green. I push the button, but
Maybe it doesn't work. 3 minutes waiting for
shall
green
we try
light.
this sushi place today? Oh, finally some green light.
Nice. What you said?
So shall we try this sushi place today?
Oh yeah, definitely. Last time
Fukuro sushi, or how it was the name?
Fukuro sushi and sashimi bar.
Sorry guys, I'm not very good with the names. We started a bit backwards with the dessert first, and now we are
Nothing
going
better
to
than
have anniversary lunch or dinner or...
If we find a table, because last time it was fully packed. Now it's almost 3 p.m.
It's a small place.
So I hope.
They have just few tables inside. We are big fans of sushi, but we have to go to this zebra over there.
Yeah, the other one.
Watch where you're walking. It's up and down, up and down.
It's a bit difficult to walk here.
I
But-
hope they have some gluten-free options. Because I know Japanese, no, they don't usually eat rice. They eat also very much gluten.
I checked the menu, they have some gluten-free options. Probably contaminated, but anyway, we can eat. We'll see now if they work at all.
If,
Google says they work. We'll
if
see.
they don't, maybe we will go to that fish restaurant we tried last time. They had excellent tuna steak. I really love when I'm on the Adriatic coast to have some fish plate. So we'll see.
Yeah, we have backup variants. So we'll definitely manage to eat something like up.
Where's the others? I think it was on this street, behind the corner.
Somewhere here, the other street, I think.
Actually, here,
Yeah.
on that corner.
Yep.
Of course, I'm on the wrong corner. The place is a
Okay.
bit hidden
Yeah, unfortunately, they don't have tables outside.
again, or they have.
Looks like they don't have.
That's the corner.
Yeah.
I think they are closed because the tables are covered with some blue.
Last time it was the
Vinyl.
same, but they worked inside, so that's strange. The weather is not that bad. Why they don't open outside?
I think because it's Saturday, they might be closing a bit earlier. But we'll see.
The menu is outside, so they work. Maybe we'll be lucky.
If they
and,
have a free
eat something.
table inside, that will be nice.
We'll see now. This is
But-
the place. Actually, it's small place.
Fukuro.
Yeah. Actually, they have tables this time. Nice.
I don't think we'll be able
This is the
to.
menu.
Tuna sashimi.
Inside they have allergens on the menu, so we can check what we can eat. Okay, let's go. Okay, so we're in. Unfortunately, there are not many gluten-free options. Looks like. Maybe we'll have to search for other option.
So we have the option just of super mix, which is 12 pieces of sushi, or just
Nigiri.
nigiri.
Nigiri
But-
and only the option with tuna, I think she mentioned.
But
Kilometers.
there is number one everywhere. Number one, I think it says gluten.
Number one is gluten.
How the Japanese food became so gluteny?
Well, they put a lot of things inside that can be contaminated or gluten, so that's why.
This is the end of the central part of Rijeka. We did not have much work with the sushi restaurant. Apparently, they didn't have gluten-free options.
They had one or two options, but unfortunately it's not enough.
The waitress said it's Saturday, they are closing today, and Sunday don't work, so some of the things they don't have to offer, other things are contaminated, so we decided we'll eat on
We'll go
another.
classic. Yeah, we'll show some classic restaurant. Last time we visited this place and it was quite nice. Although the menu was a bit limited, still the fish was really nice. So we'll go there.
It really bugs me how it's 21st century, so many people do not eat gluten, and yet when you go in a cafe or restaurant, they don't have anything gluten-free.
Yeah, it's a bit weird because it's not that complicated. We're not eating gluten for 10 years now. And some of the things are expensive, true, but not everything is expensive. It's not very complicated to prepare gluten-free meal, actually. I mean, Diana is doing this for years now, and it doesn't change your budget that much. I don't know, maybe for the restaurants it's different, but still.
Still, it's our choice to not eat gluten, mainly because of your autoimmune disease. You are not supposed to eat gluten, and I'm supporting you. But I can only imagine people that are celiacs and cannot eat gluten at all. There are so limited of options to have proper dinner.
Yeah, true. It's very hard. In Ljubljana, fortunately, there are 2-3 places that we can have proper meal. Actually, they cook very well, gluten-free places. Here in Rijeka, right now, I found just one. Of course, you can eat meat, fish.
See, people learn
Salads,
that traffic lights don't get
Yeah, no
green.
one is waiting to
Yeah,
get green.
no one. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, no problem. So yes, you can eat a lot of things like meat, salads, and so on, but they will be most probably contaminated. So people that really need to keep the diet, it will be very difficult for them.
The trouble is that Croatian and Slovenian cuisine are very much influenced by Italian cuisine. Too much pasta, too much pizza, too much dough, testine, things like that, and
But they are delicious.
it's all gluten.
Yeah. Okay, we're near the Central Market again.
We return back to the place where we started our walk. I really dislike the fact they are being sold
Yeah.
on the main street.
It's a touristic place and I would expect to organize them a bit better. But
Probably
anyway,
in summer it will stink quite nicely.
can imagine. Okay,
So,
let's go to
where-
the other restaurant.
Where it was that was a fish restaurant.
Yep.
Here in Croatia they have this konoba, it's called.
Yeah, it's like a tavern or restaurant, I don't know.
That serves
what is the
local
correct
cuisine.
translation.
But the local cuisine is
The local cuisine is something like that.
actually it's not that bad.
No.
I mean,
It's good actually, I like that.
here, Slovenia, Croatia, these nations are meat nations. They
Cevapcici,
can make
for example.
meso na žaru,
Yeah.
which means grilled meat, and they make it really good.
Cevapcici is one of my favorite.
So if you want, we can try ram steak or something.
No. I prefer
Cevapcici
fish.
are these small meat sticks.
Yeah, which is very delicious. They're very
Sometimes
delicious.
they serve them in a huge piece of bread filled with 8 or 10 of these.
Yeah.
It's like a huge hamburger, but filled with cevapcici.
Well, yes, but you can eat cevapcici everywhere, and where you're on the sea, it's better to eat fish or something like that.
I agree, but let's see, it will be probably
Green.
frozen
You see?
piece of
Green light.
tuna, defrosted and
Most
grilled.
probably, yes. Yeah, I know.
But I know here in Croatia they've got actually tuna farms, and
They have.
maybe that's a local tuna.
Last time in the same restaurant, I actually ordered some fresh fish. I
Sea
think
bass?
sea bass, yes, and it was very delicious. Very small portion, unfortunately, but very delicious.
I was conservative into the
I
tuna
know, but
grill
maybe
steak.
this time you have to try something different.
I don't know, because there they were also limited of gluten-free options, so they just
Yes.
offered us grilled meat or grilled
Well,
fish.
grilled fish is okay. I mean, it will be contaminated definitely, but you won't die. So you can eat. I'm pretty sure the restaurant is somewhere here. I remember
Behind
last
this
time it was a
corner.
bit hidden. Behind the corner? You sure?
I'm sure, let's see if it's open. It was pretty nice inside.
It's here actually.
That one.
Yeah, not one.
Is it open?
Yeah.
So we ended up again in the restaurant we tried before. It's a fish restaurant. And we already ordered uh, fish soup. Wow, huh? I'm really curious to try this one. I only had fish soup once in Slovenia. I think it was in Milka restaurant. Let's see if this one is better. Fortunately, one of the waitresses here was a little bit more flexible, because they said they don't have any gluten-free options, but she came and offered us, because we are celebrating our anniversary, to make a grilled plate for two. So let's see what they prepared for us. This plate is for two. They kindly offered to make us something different from the regular menu. This is polenta. They have several fishes here. Sea bass, dorada, shrimps, and they've got some garnish of boiled potatoes and kale, and boiled potatoes and pak choy, things sweets from our garden also. And we've got these mussels.
Yes, I'm happy that the main cook actually decided to do this for us because otherwise we could choose two options, I think, to eat.
So they just omit the fried things from the plate, and instead of that, they just fried them in olive oil without the flour, which is something not so very difficult to make. And I hope it's delicious.
Let's start.
Let's start. Yeah. Apparently, this food is absolutely delicious. This thing is some kind of local speciality for a side dish. It's made of boiled potatoes and pak choy, or sometimes they make it with kale. We have tried it before in another tavern. It wasn't very nice, but this one is cooked really nice. Also, the fish is perfectly cooked. Maybe one of the best fish plates we've tried.
Not only the fish, but also the soup. The soup was excellent. This restaurant is a bit hidden in Rijeka. I'll put a link to Google Maps in the description because otherwise it's they don't have website. At least I
How
didn't
was
manage to
the
find
name?
it. Macantunu.
Macantunu lives on the corner. I asked just the
And they are on the
waitress.
corner really, that's why. But still, the restaurant is near the National Theatre, but it's really hidden.
It is hidden. This thing is soaked in some olive lemony sauce, very aromatic. It needs just a bit of more salt, but I think they cook it like that because not everybody can like salty dish. But we are really enjoying our meal. It's very rare to have fish cooked so nice. We've tried many times. The other time we had such a good plate of fish was in Opotia, in a restaurant called Lambert, I think. And the staff was really polite, just like here. So this place becomes one of my favorite spots here in Rijeka.
Definitely, yeah, we'll come again. Actually, this is second time we come here. First time they were good, now they are even better.
We had a really nice late lunch at this small restaurant, Nakantino. That was the name.
Cantun.
Cantuno, which the waitress translated for us like the restaurant on the corner.
Yeah.
They don't have any sign from outside. It's hard to notice there is a restaurant.
Just
But-
two chairs and a table for smokers, that's all.
But they cook really nice. It's a fish restaurant. They cook mainly fish. And we were really happy that we decided not to go with the sushi bar.
It's always good when you change the plan in the last moment and it's successful.
I'm quite happy they didn't have the tuna. Maybe I'll go for the tuna again, for the tuna steak. They didn't have it, so the waitress suggested this plate for two. And I'm so full.
They make it especially for people that don't eat gluten. So
It was
that
really,
was really nice
well made.
gesture, yeah. Absolutely.
Now we are going back to the parking. We'll see how much they will charge us for so many hours. And we'll try to go to this castle before it gets dark. So we'll show you the view from the top if we manage.
hope.
So let's go.
Hello again.
What you doing? Huh? You can use the zebra.
Yeah, he's doing that actually.
No. Addio.
This is the right way.
He goes in the zebra.
Okay, we're going to the garage. I'm not sure about the exact place where it was.
Come on, you always know the directions, not like me. I'm always
That's true, but-
confused.
Yeah, but this time I'm not using the navigation, so just walking.
Even if I enter in an apartment, I won't remember where the door is, the entrance door. So I always get
The
confused.
most important thing is that when you need it, you will find it. Okay.
This is a narrow street.
Street. Let's see. Maybe this is.
Some antique shop or an Indian shop. I can't remember passing from here, but we'll see where it takes us.
You can easily get lost here in Rijeka. Around the center, there are a lot of small streets, but interesting ones. Okay, 10 minutes later, we found the parking. Now we have
After
to find the car.
circling around a bit.
Yes, because they have several entrances and it's a bit difficult to find yours. I'm still not sure if we're close to the car, but we'll have
I
to walk
think
a bit
it's
in
the
the
wrong
parking.
entrance.
Very possible.
Look how awful this building looks.
Oh yeah, this building is
I think it's
coming down. Oh.
falling apart.
Back to the parking. Let's find where to pay and find the car after that.
So we left Trsat Castle for the last thing we'll show you from Rijeka. We came here by car. It's about 10 minutes from the city center, but the road is a bit like Serpentine. They are doing some reconstruction work. Here in the courtyard of the castle, they also do some digging. I don't know what they do exactly. But this is a very old castle, 13th century. It was built and reconstructed in 19th century. So, very old building, and we hope to show you Rijeka from top. Let's check what's from this side firstly.
The parking here, if you're coming with a car, it's quite difficult. There are small streets, you can park on the street, but there is usually no any available space. So I would recommend small parking, which is near Dvorana Mladosti. I'm not sure how to translate that, but you can Google it.
Apparently it's free of charge.
The parking is free. It's for probably 50 cars, but we managed to find a place there and park.
I think this is the highway.
Yeah,
You can see that's the back side of the castle. And we'll go where these young people take pictures. We'll go in a bit there on this balcony to show you the other part, to the sea.
Let's go.
Let's go. In this part of Rijeka, the upper part, the buildings are a bit decent, not like down on the sea level. I think that's the courtyard of the castle, and maybe we should go from here.
Yep. Let's go inside. As you know, the garden is very accessible.
I don't think there is an entrance fee for
No.
the garden here.
Listening to the music, there is a cafe, probably
They
somewhere
also
there.
have a small dragon like in Ljubljana on the
Yeah,
bridge.
I see.
and some kind of tower. I'm not sure if this tower is. It's actually accessible. I see people up there.
Yeah, you can get there on
Shall
the
we
other
go?
side, of course.
So this is the Rijeka port. And that's the small river. The name I forgot.
Rečnica, something like that.
Something like that, but it crosses the city.
The view is nice here. Just these ugly buildings actually somehow.
I don't know
Disturbing
why in
the
the socialist era they built such ugly blocks. Maybe
Ask me.
because they wanted to accommodate
More
as
people.
many people as possible
Yeah.
on a small.
That was the idea.
But it just destroys the charm of this
Absolutely.
city.
Another set of steps we have to climb.
We just have to burn the calories from our lunch, I think,
Let's go there firstly.
on this balcony.
Yep.
After you.
Okay, a bit better. So this is the castle, or what's left.
It was reconstructed in 19th century. At that time it was some kind of mausoleum. Here lived some kind of Feldmarschall Laval Mughal or something like that. And that castle was given as his residence by Austrians as a thank you. Because
Nice residence with nice view.
I
No,
don't know how he managed with that property. But he
like.
turned it into something like mausoleum for military things.
I like Rijeka, but most of the parts, especially the old city, but this part I don't like. The industrial part is not very nice, and you see down. Otherwise, it's really beautiful city. It's quite big.
This is what was built after the second,
Yeah, you can see that.
when the city was bombarded and buildings destroyed, so they built ugly stuff.
Yeah.
Whoever lived in this castle didn't need any cardio with these steps.
Definitely. Another platform. The ruins of the old castle. Okay, from the top of the tower of the castle, you have 360 view.
That
This is
bridge
the
is
highway.
impressive.
Yeah, the bridge is quite big, but there is a bigger one to Kirk Island. I have some difficulties to make full round
The
because there are a
space
lot
is
of
not
people
a
here.
I'm happy it's not July.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Eventually, people
with
probably.
this uncontrolled access,
Yeah.
here it might be
Maybe the reason is different, but not now.
quite crowded.
Yep. The view worked. Yes, you can see the most beautiful part of the city, unfortunately. But otherwise, it's nice to climb here. It's quite high.
It's 138 meters.
Just
But it looks very high because
our
The
house is
port.
kind of positioned.
the port is on the sea level, so it looks very high.
It's nice.
It's the highest part, this tower.
Yeah, looks like.
I think they should make some safety precautions here,
Definitely.
so some kids do not fall down. So guys, this was all for today from us, from this beautiful spot in Rijeka. I hope you enjoyed all the places we showed you.
And please don't forget to subscribe for our channel to see more videos like this one.
And hit that like button to support making more videos like this one. Don't
Yep.
forget, it's free. Thank
you.
you
Thank
and
you.
bye.
Bye.